muda mida? Yeah, thank you. With me here, I have 2 pairs of shoes. And these are nice shoes, right? They are branded Nike shoes. My first shoe is a small shoe. If I'm to wear this shoe right now, people around me like, oh, and especially back at home, they'll be like, oh my God, it's really nice. But it doesn't fit me. This is a size 38, and I wear a size 40. And on this other side, I have another shoe, branded. And this shoe is a size 40. That means if I wear this shoe, I'll be comfortable, and the people around me will still admire my shoe. My name is Cynthia Simantoi Oningoi, and I come from the country Kenya in Africa, and I come from the Maasai community. That's why I'm all dressed in this colorful outfit, representing my community in the Dutch community. And today I'm going to talk about my story, my struggles. In my community, we have this practice, female genital mutilation, FGM. FGM is a practice which is known in my community and involves the partial or total removal of the external genitalia, and normally it causes injury, but this practice is normally done as a ritual. And this ritual helps a girl to transition from childhood to adulthood. It is a form of branding, just the way I've showed you my first shoe. But these girls, when they go through these rituals, they are accepted by the community. But what of the girl herself? Is she comfortable? No. This is because my people used to live in a community where they will not get out to the outside world. But now with education, we have to get out. We have to get doctors in my community. At the age of 8 years, I'm lucky my parents are learned. So at the age of 8 years, they saw that this environment here is not good for a small girl. So they took me to a boarding school. Boarding school, you don't come home. You have to stay for 3 months away from home. But every time school closes, I will go back to the same community, which was practicing the same practice. And at 14 years, when I was 14, that's me, big girl. When I was 14, one day I was washing my mom's utensil just outside the house. And this group of women, there were 7 women, they came towards me. I was not yet branded. And so they took that opportunity to place a brand on me. They took me through FGM. That morning I was washing, and one of the women just grabbed me and they took me behind our house. And they took me through the cut. I tried to tell them to stop. I tried screaming, but everyone was like, we cannot leave you just like that. You are not a woman. And after that, my parents were really mad. But because I knew how much they had tried to protect me for all those years, I just told them, it's okay, Dad. It's okay, Mom. I will deal with that. So it was in 2007. So 2008, I was joining high school. And my parents, because they knew how much I had been traumatized, they saw the need to take me to a school very far away, a school that I had no people that knew me, trying again to protect me. And when I was in school, in our class, I was the only Maasai girl. One day, the teacher we were talking about female genital mutilation, and the teacher called me in front and was like, Cynthia, come and tell us about FGM. We know that your community practices FGM. Come and tell us about it. I was so shocked. I had already enjoyed being part of a community that never talked about it. And this time again, I was being called to talk about it. And worst of it, in front of teenagers, in front of my friends. When I was there walking in front of class, I told myself, if I happen to cry or show any emotion, that means I will be given a new name, maybe branded, or just the girls will stop, spending time with me. So I knew I had to be strong. I stood there and I told them, oh, this is how it's done. And I was really showing my smile, but deep down I was crying. The wound that was trying to heal inside me was once again pricked, and I was bleeding. And every time I went back home, when school closes, I will find the same women who are my relatives who took me through the cut. And I was feeling very bad. In fact, at some point, I felt like committing suicide. But, I sat there and I kept on remembering, really thinking about it. And at one point, when I was about to commit suicide, I thought to myself, what will happen to these small girls in my village? What will happen? I have my sister there she's the next one. And I was like, what will happen to my young sister? When she reaches my age, she will go through the same practice. And so I decided that since I was lucky and I was given education, let me do something and change my community. That is when I did my bachelor's degree in gender and development studies. Because I knew that I needed to create a long-lasting solution, a sustainable solution in my community. That 10 years to come, I will not be worried when I'm here in Netherlands that girls are continuing to be subjected to the practice. And so the first thing that I did also, another thing that I did when I was still in campus, I took a step to forgive the women that took me through the practice. Because sometimes violence and hate and bitterness doesn't solve a situation. And especially to women who think that they are really helping you. They were helping me. They loved me so much. And they wanted me to get a husband when I reach when I'm old enough to be married. But they never knew that they were hurting me. So when I actually talked to the women, they were so sorry and they were like, what can we do? This is me and my women, and some of them here were part of those who are really holding my legs and cutting me. But I needed to form something that, a wave, a movement, and I came up with a community-based organization. And in the process of doing that work, I was able even to unleash and avail most of the practices, the problems that the women were going through. Like, for example, in my community, when a woman is pregnant, she's supposed to starve. You're not supposed to eat food, because if you eat food and you have gone through FGM, your genitals have been tampered with, it normally tampers with the elasticity. And that means when you're giving birth, if you give birth to a big baby, that means you will tear. And maybe will not be able to hold urine. And so most of the women were made to starve so that the baby can be small and that they can deliver well. And this time, most of these women had lost their children because they give birth to a very small baby, and the baby is malnourished, and so this baby ends up, they end up losing. So when I told them, they never knew that it was connected to something that they had gone through some years back. In the process of doing my work, that is me reaching out to the remotest villages. In the process of doing my work, which I was doing in my village, I came across AMREF Health Africa. And with AMREF, I've been AMREF flying doctors. With that, I've been able to reach the remotest villages in my country. And I've been able also to reach out to elders, to leaders, who have been able to stand with me after knowing what this practice is bringing. I thank God because I was also able to meet a group of people from the Netherlands. That is the African Classic. And I met some guy here from African Classic. Thank you so much. And these people are people who don't even know how much they are helping people like me, girls who have gone through this practice. I would love just to thank you all, and also to thank organizations that have bringing help to my community, helping girls like me who knows how much it means to go through this torture, which is a life torture. Not only to myself, but to my small girls, my sisters back in the village and back in my community. I would love to just urge each and every one of you that never underestimate what you can do. Never let someone fight your battles. Because if I could have given up some years back, that means that small girls that I have rescued right now will have been subjected to that practice. I love to thank each and everyone, and I'm challenging you that just don't sit there and estimate what you can do to help some girls like me from my community, to save other girls, and to bring my community to realize that this is a problem, and this is, yes, they love, and I want our girls to feel like me wearing this shoe. I want them to be comfortable, not only the society around them, not only to be resourceful to their society, but also to have inner peace and to be comfortable in their life. Thank you very much, and may God bless.